Okay, as you might be able to tell, I have no idea how to do intro. I keep forgetting the camera's right there. What do people like? I don't know, food? Should we go check out what's in my fridge over there? Alright, at the mini fridge. I have no idea how loud I need to be, because my mic's over there. But, let's see what we can find. Ah, yes, of course. Perfect. Just what we expected. You know, a picture of Joe Noah, Gator basketball legend. Alright, now that we've entertained the Zoomers with something weird and wacky, we can begin the actual video. Hello guys, my name is Borax Almighty. Usually I make off-meta League videos, but I've decided to try out something new. And yes, I know I look terrible, but who actually has time to look good when there's data to be collected? So pretty much this whole idea came from me posting in the Dirty Cyan main subreddit, where I was asking them what they thought about Cyan as a support. But then it got me thinking, wouldn't it be interesting if we asked all of the subreddit mains what they thought about their own champion? So yeah, that brings us to the clickbait title, where I say I solve League of Legends, which of course makes no sense whatsoever, but it worked. I mean, you're here. So good job me. But don't go away yet. I promise that this is interesting, because we're going to actually use this formula to answer the oldest question in League, which is, what is the best champion to play at the moment? Now, before we answer that question, let's quickly go over the formula, because there's no reason you should listen to me without understanding it for yourself. And I want this to be an interactive experiment, because I really do want to see your guys' input and see that maybe I should change things so we can get the best possible answer to find out who that best champion truly is. Alright, let's go over this formula piece by piece. And we're going to have this first part over here, which has a bunch of numbers, has a bunch of letters. And it doesn't really make any sense until I show you guys this. So pretty much what I did is I went to every single one of the champions subreddits, which took a very long time, about 10 hours, and in the middle of it, this very cute dog, which I'm going to put on the screen right now, decided to turn this hallway into a little mud zone, which I had to clean up in the middle of it. So yeah, that was fun. But anyways, I got back to it. I posted in all the subreddits that I can this little poll. The question I asked every subreddit was, how OP do you think your main is in their current state? And the options that I gave people were S, A, B, C, D, F. And because I understand how League of Legends people work, you have to give a little bit of context to each of the ratings. So for S, I decided that super OP could be nerfed. A would be strong, but no changes needed. B is perfectly balanced, as all things should be. C was a bit weak, could use a buff or two. D, I thought could be the game is harder with this champion, and F was if Riot sold wins for RP, I'd still lose. And I am right now, recognizing that there are 3 negative ones, but I guess I wanted it to be like, I don't think a lot of people are going to say like, this is the best champion ever, so I don't need like 3 really high ones. But now that I'm thinking about it, I guess this makes sense where like S or champions you like want to play every game. A is champions like you will feel confident in winning in. B are champions like you could still win, but like you might struggle against the S tier champions, and then all of these are champions you don't want to play. So yeah, that's pretty much how League of Legends works, is it not? So yeah, after spending way too much of my time polling people, which was, cause if you think about it, there's 163 champions in League of Legends, so that's 163 different posts I have to make on Reddit. And there was a lot of drama involved with this. So yeah, if you are so far enjoying what I'm doing, just let me tell you right now, I have put a lot of effort in this. If you'd consider subscribing, maybe, it would definitely prove to me that it was all worth it. But hey, if just a few of you guys enjoy it, it's also been my pleasure collecting this data. But pretty much, to get into it, I asked people those questions, right? And then I found out the results by looking after it again. This is after about a day of collecting. And yeah, we're recording it. So we got 17 S's for Aatrox, 137 A's, 309 B's, 363 C's, 74 D's, and 33 F's for Aatrox. And yeah, pretty interesting, good stuff. And then what we do, if we go back to the formula, is we want to weight all of those ratings, right? To find out how strong people actually believe their champion is. So what we did, or what I did, I guess, is I take this number, the S, and I times it by 6. I take the A, times it by 5. Take the B, times it by 4. C by 3. D by 2. F by 1. Pretty much getting like a grade point average for the champion, and that is shown right over here. So now we know that Aatrox mains, after a day of voting, think their champion is a 3.53 out of 6, which is pretty cool, you know? So that is the first part of the formula. We take the numbers, we times it by their weight, and then we divide them by the total votes, right, to get the average score. That is how averages work. I hope everyone who plays League of Legends knows that, but maybe not. And the first part of the formula, to me, is the feeling of the champion. Because normally when people always try to find out who the best champion is in the moment, they always consider win rates, right? And I think that's not a great way to paint the picture, which I'll have a little more evidence of that in the future. Yeah, and so like a lot of tier lists don't consider feeling, and I think it's pretty hard to determine feeling of OP-ness. But yeah, I think this Excel sheet's a pretty interesting way to do it. Like, you can really see some interesting things. Here we have another tab over here where we can see highest average score. So for instance, like Kha'Zix mains themselves believe that they are the most OP champion right now. Pretty interesting. You can see here currently, based on the scoring, that Shyvana mains think they are the worst, which is a big surprise to me. Corki mains also down there, stuff like that. But yeah, if you go to this Excel sheet, you can currently see what everyone thinks. I put all the data right here. Very pretty. And you might be like, oh, I'm jealous, I want to see this Excel sheet. Well, I'm going to put in the description, so you can look at the Excel sheet whenever you want. It's pretty cool. You can see me interact with it. But yeah, let's go back to the formula. So let's get back on track. So win rates, I still think do matter a little bit, because maybe you think your champion's really OP, but they're doing very badly. As you can see, we actually have an example of this right here, where like Gragas, right? His win rate in all ranks is not that great, but people think he's the third best champion based on feeling. So that's where we get to these scores, right? That's the part of the formula. So here we take win rate of Platinum Plus, which is pretty much what everybody uses to determine strengths of champions. I think it's kind of lame. I don't think it's the best gauge of all time, but yeah, I think it does matter a little bit. So we take that 52.32, and then we want it to be a smaller number so we can actually use it in combination with our average score. So I divided it at first by 10, so it would be 5.23, right? And then I thought, do I really want win rate to matter that much, where it matters so much more than feeling? Because I think feeling has a lot to do with how strong of a champion is. Like, for instance, right now, Nyla, right? She has the highest win rate, but I personally, whenever I feel Nyla or see Nyla, I'm not that scared of it. What else? So there's another example, like Misfortune, super high win rate. I'm not really scared of Misfortune, am I? Taric, right? Taric has a super high win rate. I'm not scared of Taric when I see him. Look, like you can see right now, people think he's a 3.94. Yeah, I mean, do I cry for nerfs of Taric? No, I'm not that scared of him, but he is winning a lot. I mean, right now the meta's good for him, but I don't think he's that strong. So pretty much, we divide it by 10, so we get it at the smaller number, like I said, and then we divide it by another 2, right? Which is then makes it 20. Because we don't want it to be weighted that much higher than the feeling, but we still want it to have an impact on the rating, because I think that's interesting. And then, because Platinum is not where most of the players are, in fact, I'm going to actually look it up right now. Everyone acts like they're Challenger, but it's only 0.02% of players, 0.05% in Grandmaster, 0.5% in Master Tier. Is this NA? It doesn't, it's all regions. Diamond 3%, Platinum 11%. So we only look at Platinum and up. It's 14, it's like, what, 14.5% of all players. So most people who are actually looking at these tier lists are not playing at these ranks. I do still think like that win rate does matter a little more, because you do want to win at the higher tiers. But at the end of the day, most of the players, right, are silver, gold, bronze. You might not want to admit it, but it's just the truth. Everyone acts like they're up here, but it's just not reality, right? That's not actually how strong the champions are going to be for most people playing the game. What I decided to do is include that a little bit by taking the win rate of all ranks, because sadly I can't take the win rates based on Platinum and lower, at least from what I found using Lolalytics, by the way. Not a sponsor, obviously not, but that is what I was using. And I took that and I divided by 10 to get the smaller number. Yes. And then I decided to divide that by 4 because I only want it to be about 25% weighted in my little formula. Now, one of my issues I have personally which I don't really know how to solve, is Platinum Plus is kind of counting twice because it is included in here as well. I don't know the solution to that. If any of you guys know the solution to that, please let me know. If you guys are okay with it, I'm okay with it. Kind of existing there. This isn't the most scientific thing. I'm kind of joking about all of this project. I just think it's very fun, exciting to see. But yeah, pretty much if you have a solution to that problem, hit that comments. If you have a solution to any of the stuff I'm doing right now, any suggestions, please do let me know, because this has just been a lot of fun and I want to make the best possible content out of this. But yeah, I take those two numbers, right? Now you understand the formula. This is the feeling aspect of how the mains feel about their champion. This is the win rates, and then that leads to the final score, which I am referring to as the BTMS. Now you might be wondering what BTMS stands for, and that is the Borax the Mighty scale, because I mean, why not name the scale after me? I mean, I came up with it. I'm gonna take a little credit for it. I'm like one of those scientists who find one of these random frogs and names it after themselves. You know, I'll put one on the screen right here. Funny animal named after some weird dude. There you go. Awesome. There we go. We get our BTMS score, which takes, again, the average score based on the mains, and it combines it with a little bit of weighting from plat win rates and all rank win rates, and that leads us to the BTMS score. And if we sort based on that, we can find out that currently, apparently, Milo is the answer to the question of who is the most OP champion. And if you ask me, I'm not really going to disagree with it. I think that champion is absolutely ludicrous. I think she is so strong. If you look into the other champions up here, Kog'Maw with all of the new items giving him so much damage. Kha'Zix, yeah, when the lethality is strong, like you can see his win rate, like in all ranks, not that high. So you might think, oh, he's not that good, but like people are just running it down on him. Look at the next champion, Gragas, right? 49% win rate in all ranks, 52% here, but he's a pretty strong champion still, right? I don't know if he got nerfed too much. BTMS is very similar, of course, to the score of how mains believe their champions are. But that's how we want to do. We just want it to be a little bit tweaked based on win rates, because some of these scores are just a little bit too high, and some of them are too low. Like, for instance, Nyla, right? She only gets an A+ from the main tier list, but on the BTMS tier list, she gets an S-, which I think is deserved because, you know, her win rates are so high, so it should be up a little bit. And you might be wondering, wait, how do we even get this tier list thing? I relearned how to do a little bit of coding. I don't know if you call it coding, but spreadsheet wonder, let's call it that. Based on these numbers and based on this little list over here, it puts the characters in different tiers based on how high the ratings are, and then you can quickly see what it looks like. It's very cool. And yeah, that's pretty much how I use this formula to solve the answer of who is the most OP champion. Now, before you're saying like, okay, it's done, good, we've solved it, Milo's the most OP champion, this is part one, right? Part one of probably 3 parts. I mean, the middle part is gonna be something, I'll talk about it later. The third part is going to be the final part, and the final part is we're going to really dive into the data and really look at things that are fascinating. For instance, we can look at percentage of people who voted their champion as F tier, right? Which, drumroll please, is of course Ryze mains. Fascinating, right? 29% of Ryze mains said their champion's F tier, which is way higher than the second highest, which is Corki. And then at the same time, Ryze mains had 17% of people say their champion was S tier. So they're super conflicted. You know, we got 3% of people, Ryze mains saying it's the second best, and like a bunch lower down. Here we can see like Draven mains, right? A bunch of people saying Draven mains are good, but at the same time, they're the 4th highest amount of people saying that their champion is absolutely terrible. You can also see things like Corki mains, right? Super unhappy with their champion. Only about 8% of their people saying that their champion is even somewhat good. Some people are like, it's kind of balanced, but most of the people are saying their champion is terrible. And yeah, currently a lot of these things could have more votes, as we can see over here. You can see by total votes, like for instance, Corki mains is currently only at 169 votes, so it's not the most reliable stuff, which is why I'm going to have all of these polls up for 7 days. It's currently been going on for 1 day only, And if you want to vote on one of your mains, I mean, I don't know if I can say you can go vote on it, but I have included in this on the Excel sheet, which is again in the description, all of the subreddits for the mains, and you can go vote. Please only go and vote for your actual mains, like maximum 3 polls, please, of like your top 3 favorite champions, or if you really do play 5 champions, because I really want this to be about people's favorite champions, right? Because those are the people who have the best feeling about how strong their champion is. What's really cool about this whole tier list system is how none of my biases are actually involved in this. It's all you guys determining. It's all you guys win rates, which is completely different compared to most tier lists, which is based on people's opinion, which, I mean, people's opinion is interesting, especially like if they have a special interest in it, but I like this one where it's like it's the community's opinion and win rate's opinion about who is good. And that has led to these tier lists, which I just now remembered, which I'm doing. This is the tier list after using the Borax Almighty scale, which is the formula, which I have showed you guys here. And here we can see Milo, right? Best champion, Kog'Maw, Kha'Zix, Gragas. And these are sorted by how the scale has determined. And while you might be like, okay, there's like, these champions are actually not that bad, it's just like how they are compared to these champions. And based on looking at it, I mean, I pretty much agree with most things here. Like Fizz I would put way lower, but if we look at champions main subreddit results, where's Fizz? Yeah, Fizz, like, here, this is a good way to look at it. Here we have percentages like showing what people voted, and like here you can see Fizz mains, like they think their champion's not that bad. I would put him in F tier, honestly, but Fizz mains think he's pretty good, which is cool. I like that. I like that we can see what mains actually think about their champions. I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, let's wrap up this absolute mess of a video. Don't know if anybody's still watching. If you are, again, appreciate it. This has been a fun little passion project of mine. Now let's talk about some things. Like I said, you can go vote for your champions. Just don't troll vote, please. Let's try to keep this as sane as possible. And as a backup, in case somehow the polls get absolutely trolled, I made a backup of this file, which has used one-day results if for some reason the results go absolutely wonky. Again, maybe League of Legends community can keep things sane for once in their lives, but we'll see. If somehow, don't be weird with the subreddits, please. If I'm sending people there, like maybe only like one person sees this video, which is cool. I don't mind that, but don't do anything weird. Please, for the love of God. I don't know what you could even think of doing that's weird. Just chill. Everyone chill. Good. Let's chill. But yeah, now let's talk about a little bit of the problems that we have. So some characters, champions, as you see, have no results, and that's because there's some problems like you can't do polls, or my posts get removed very fast. Like for instance, Ari, you can't vote on that anymore because it got removed. And initially, I was asking people like, hey, what's up? Why is it getting removed? Then I got a little bit tilted because some of the moderators are interesting people, I'll put it politely. And then the second video I'm going to be making about this is going to be talking about rating all of the subreddits I've been in. Little tier list of that, and that will be a very fun video, so you make sure to subscribe and come back to watch part 2 of this little journey where I do talk about some of these subreddits and how there's a lot of power tripping going on and a lot of hypocrisy, which I have proof of, and it's something. And like, oh yeah, you might be saying like I'm spamming it, but it's spamming it for something interesting, is it not? It's also not really spam. There's no other way to do this without making a bunch of posts asking everyone what they think. There's some people, I've contacted them, see if they respond. Kasante, Kaisa. If you guys really want me to, I will go back to some of the other subreddits that have removed my posts. This is one of my personal favorites, where the Malphite one got 47 votes and then it got removed. And if we look at the Malphite one, like 6.2 thousand people are Malphite mains. This champion's been out since what? Day 1? Like, come on, man! I love Malphite! Oh, this one made me sad. Where is it? Just remembered. Shen! Shen's one of my favorite champions of all time, and they removed that post! But why? I love you, Shen! Shen mains, please! It might be a bot, I don't know, but if it's someone who did it, why, Shen mains? I love your champion! Please, come back! let me see what the people of Shen mains think about this champion. There's some subreddits that have been really awesome. I will talk about that in the second video. For sure. Like, for instance, Rel mains, I contacted them, and they let me put the post back. Super appreciate that. There's other subreddits that have gone even more above and beyond. So there's a couple questions I have for you guys. So the first one is, there's some subreddits which I can absolutely not get through. The people they just hate me. Like, alright, spoiler, the second video is gonna talk a lot about Action mains. Don't harass them. Leave them alone. I don't care. I just want them to go to obscurity. I do not care about that subreddit anymore. I made my own subreddit called Action Mains Reddit Vote. And if any of you guys know how to make a subreddit where all you can do is just only have one post and not allow anyone else to post, that would be awesome, because I don't want any other posts here. I just only want this to a place for people to vote on Action if they want. Hopefully I don't have to do that for a lot of champions. And is it even worth it for me to do those champions? Do you guys want to vote on those champions? Or do we just say, sorry, Action mains, if you decide that Action doesn't get to be part of this video, that's fine. He just doesn't get to be part of the video, and we'll never really know. But yeah, other things that I'm going to do is I'm going to make like superlatives, right? Talking about champions. So put in the comments below any superlatives you want to see. For instance, I think Rise mains gets a little superlative of most crazy like difference between the people, stuff like that, like most F votes and still a lot of A votes. I think other superlatives I'm going to do is like most satisfied mains. Like for instance, if you have two like really green numbers like Milo, they're pretty satisfied with the champion. Or I think like a better way to see satisfaction would be like Lilia, for instance, where they think she's very balanced, or Strawn, and they don't think she's too weak, stuff like that. I mean, I'll mess with the statistics. You guys let me know how I can better do this. We'll cook. The third video will be really diving into a week's worth of data, really see like a bunch of things. So let me know what you guys want me to dive into. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, access to the Excel is in the thing. I am thinking a little sleazeball thing is maybe I set up a Patreon if you guys want to support me, and in return I'll give you access to the Excel sheet yourself, both in this date if you want, and definitely after the 7 days, where you can then do whatever you want. Because I don't know if you're viewing it, you can. How do I do this? What am I just doing? Do I know Excel? Yes. Where you're sorting it, right? Stuff like that. Yeah, you can do that on your own. That'll be fun for you if you want. You can support me. Probably do like $5. Support me if you want. Yeah. But yeah, the Excel sheet itself is free. You can look at it yourself. But sorting and all that, I don't know if you can do it. If you can do it for free, cool. I don't mind. If you like really want it, for some reason, don't have $5 to spend, message me, like, I don't know, on Reddit or Discord. We have Discord, although I don't do it on the Discord a lot. I'm dying now. Yeah, you can message me. I'll give you access to it. Don't really care, but, you know. But yeah, I mean, just thought might make it, because I've always thought about doing a Patreon, but I don't really know what to give out to people, because I don't really want to charge things. But yeah, this might be one thing where I can give you this, guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, let me know. Let me know what you guys want me to highlight in the future. Like, for instance, one thing that we can see right now that's interesting is we have the totals for the votes. So we can see that the most popular vote is B tier, and the second most popular vote is C tier. So most people think their champion's either average or slightly below average. And again, before you say, oh, this is completely biased, this is not actually scientific, I know, it's funny, it's hilarious, I think this is great. It's just amazing seeing what people think about their own champions. I know they're very biased, but it like shows that if people's mains are willing to admit their champion is this strong, that must mean it's so strong. It's absolutely fascinating to me. Yeah, and I'll be updating it every day at around noon, maybe earlier, maybe later, depends on how my sleep is going. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we have the tier list. You can compare the two tier lists right here. I don't know really how to end it. Pretty much just let me know what you want me to add, what you want me to go over in the third final video where we really dive into the data. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Leave it a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are excited to see the other videos, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.